Hello everybody and welcome to today's lesson. It is entitled Education for All. That's lesson 2 from unit 2. It has been prepared by Mr. Jemil, senior English teacher, and Mrs. Lema Atwi, senior inspector of English. So as we said, education is very important and is a challenge for many nations, as many people are getting very poor quality education and many other kids are not getting any education at all. Okay, to start with, we are going to focus on the objectives we've set for you. So, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to interpret a cartoon or to interpret pictures, to scan short text for details, to express possible condition using a specific structure, and to write an advertisement with a call to attention. So these are the main objectives we've set, and we are going to go through them bit by bit through different tasks in order to achieve these objectives. Now, let's learn the ropes. First thing we'll be doing is this. You are going to focus on pictures and match each with a corresponding title. We are going to provide you with a set of titles, and you are going to choose from these titles the one that fits each picture. Okay. Here is the first one, and you are provided with 4 titles. So read them, take your time to read, and see which one would be the most appropriate to use in this situation. So, first one is getting an education against all odds. The second one, dreaming of field trips with peers. The third, the clay bricks on my head block my school in the head. Then the fourth, thanks to his determination, the hungry student of today will be the well-fed man of tomorrow. 4 possible titles, and it's up to you to choose the right ones. Good. So the one that goes with this picture is the clay bricks on my head block my school in the head. Yeah, good. It's a rhyming title. I like the rhyme in here. So yes, you see this boy who looks so sad with all those bricks on his head. Is regretting something, is that he has to work, and many kids are working, and this prevents them from attending school. Okay. So they live in appalling condition, in misery, and that work prevents them from attending school, from enrolling at schools. Good. Second picture. Okay, you see a classroom in the open air. It's an outdoor classroom. It's not because they've made the choice. They would like to change. No, because they have no classrooms. So they study in the open air in lousy conditions. You see very shoddy desks, a board. They are crammed in front of a teacher and trying to get as much as they can. So which of these titles could best fit in here? Okay, guess, take time. So we already dealt with one, so we eliminate it. And we get getting an education against all odds. Whatever the situation, we still cling to getting some education. Third one, I like it because it's ironical, you know, there's irony in it. There's the sign, yeah, as you see, and it says Millennium Development Goals. And the goal is to reduce hunger by 2015, but the kids were walking to school, as you see, barefoot, having nothing, with shabby clothes. One of them looks at the sun and tells his classmate, or his friend, I have the same goal every day. I'm hungry. So they are working on that for 2015, but I'm hungry and I need to get food to go to school. And maybe tomorrow would be a better day. The title here is, thanks to determination, the hungry student of today will be the well-fed man of tomorrow. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about this situation now. You know that we are talking about problems of education in general, and you know that there are some organizations like the United Nations, so governmental and non-governmental organizations, which are striving to improve education in many parts of the world, in Africa and Asia, in Latin America, and even in some European countries. All right, good. So the United Nations has set some programs. One of these programs is called the MDGs. The MDGs is an acronym. You know what's an acronym? An acronym is an abbreviation. In fact, it is made up of the initial letter of the initial letter of each word in a compound item. You know, if you take the MDG, the MDG, sorry, it stands for the United Nations, the UN, Millennium Development Goals. And here again, you have an acronym, which is the United Nations. The first letter of United is U. The first letter of Nations is N. Combine it together, we have the acronym UN, and everybody now says UN. We don't say United Nations, say UN, UN, UN. That makes things easier. All right, so the period of this goal is to reach that goal by 2015, starting 2000. Number 8, the aim is eliminating poverty, hunger, disease, illiteracy, environmental dangers, and the gender inequality, the inequality between sexes. Good. Millennium Development Goal. Good. Now we have the SDG, or the SDG, sorry. What does it stand for? Good. It's the Sustainable Development Goals. So S goes for sustainable, D for development, and G for goals. Also known as the global goals, were adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. That means 9 years from now. Yeah? Hope this will happen, and hope this is happening already. Great. Quality education. Let's deal more with the problem of education. Through a video, we are going to dig deeper into the matter. We are going to watch a video, okay? And here are the instructions. You are going to watch a video by the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, which is rated to SDG 4. Watch the video and take notes of what the following figures mentioned in it refer to. So the figures are 15, a quarter, or 1/4, and 12. So you have 3 figures. Focus, watch, and try to get the right answer.
Here's some good news. Data tell us that in the past 15 years, more children than ever have enrolled in primary school. This massive global effort to achieve universal education has been made possible by data. In fact, more than 1,000 internationally comparable indicators produced by the UNESCO Institute for Statistics have kept governments accountable while measuring progress on a host of education issues. But does this mean our work is done? Not yet. Data show successes and failures. Roughly 1/4 of children who enroll in primary school drop out. Of those who stay, many are not learning at the appropriate grade level. This issue is being addressed by the Sustainable Development Goal for Education. It's an ambitious plan, with governments promising 12 years of quality learning for all.
Good. So now, did you get the right answers? Let's check together. 15. We said that in the video, it is said that during the last 15 years, more children than ever have enrolled in primary schools. Enrolled can be written in one L or with double L, and it is a verb form. The noun form is enrollment. I mean, we accept both spellings. Good. A quarter or 1/4. In the video it said roughly 1/4 of students who enroll in primary school drop out. Now 1 out of 4. Yeah. Roughly means approximately, not exactly, approximately. Yeah. Now, as for 12, it is said that 12 years of quality learning for all, promised by governments as part of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals plan. Great. Now we have an idea on some of the UN's plans and actions in order to improve education. Let's further dig. We have a text, a short text. We are going to read upon it and pick out the main reason behind the poor results obtained by Kasigo's school. Kasigo is a student in some part of Africa. He has problems at school. We are going to text about him and I try to find out his problems, okay, and the reason behind it. Good. I hope you've had enough time to read the text and to think about the question. We still have 2 other questions to answer first, and then we might go back to this one. They might help us, they might guide us into finding the right answer. Good. So what is the main reason again behind the poor results obtained by Kasigo's school? Here they are. Studying without basic resources. That's the first thing. Now, we have got 2 other questions, as I said, and these 2 questions, the answer to these questions would better inspire us into finding the right answer. So, the instructions are, answer the following questions with details from the text. What would the kids do in order not to feel thirsty at school? And how do the students manage to solve the problem of the lack of textbooks? The answers are in the text. Did you get the answers? Ready? Okay, let's check. So, in order not to feel thirsty, in order to get some water, they would ask for water from the neighboring village during the break. And they said the conditions are really, really rough. They had to walk on gravel paths, and I mean, it's terribly hot. They are all, I mean, suffering from the weather conditions. Now, we move to the second question. How do the students manage to solve the problem of the lack of textbooks? They share the textbooks in groups of 5, and they said, if you want us to excel, we need our textbooks, we need our things to work with at home. Otherwise, we can't get outstanding results. Good. So these are the problems faced by kids in some parts of Africa. Now, let's see. The little boy says, unless we share them in groups of 5, we won't be able to study. Still talking about the textbooks, he said, unless we share them in groups of 5, we won't be able to study. How many parts are there in this sentence? Then, what is the relationship between them? And the last thing we'll be doing is to rewrite the sentence starting as follows. Okay, so how many parts? Can you guess how many parts there are in this sentence? Okay? Yes? There are two. That's the first part, starting unless we share them in groups of 5. The second part is we won't be able to study. Now, what is the relationship between them? As possible condition, its result. We have a condition and the result of the condition. Share them in groups of 5 and the ability to study. Now, let's rewrite the sentence starting as follows, starting with if instead of unless. And we'll have, if we don't share them in groups of 5, we won't be able to study. So that's what we get at the end. If we use if instead of unless, we get this sentence. If we don't share them in groups of 5, we won't be able to study. Focus on the verbs after if and unless. What do you notice? What do you deduce? Yeah. Folks, here I say if we don't share, and there unless we share. Is there a difference between the two? Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. If plus negative verb, whereas unless with a positive verb. So we use if plus negative verb and use a positive verb after unless. Now, if plus verb in the negative form equals unless plus verb in the affirmative form. So if we say, unless I go, you mean if I don't go. Clear? So unless means if not, and unless is always followed by a positive verb. That's what you have to bear in mind. Now, let's have our hands on that. Connect each two sentences below using unless. We are going to further practice this structure and start as shown. The issue of unequal access to quality education won't be solved. Everybody takes action. So you have two parts, as we said in the beginning. A second one is we won't manage to build schools for the refugees. Governments and individuals donate money. Try to combine the two parts, the condition and the result, using unless. Give you some time, you do that, and now we check. Okay, we rephrase the first one, and we get, unless everybody takes action, the issue of unequal access to quality education won't be solved. And second one, we rephrase it using unless, when we get unless government and individuals donate money, we won't be able to build the schools for the refugees. Okay, I think things are clear now with unless and if. Still dealing with the text. What psychological scars do you think Casigo, the little boy, the little African boy, might carry on all along his life because of the wretched condition he is living in? Of course, the situation he's living in, as you see, he is suffering, he's expressing the suffering all along the text and explaining why. Clear? Now, all this for sure is gonna leave some psychological scars on him. What are those psychological scars? Think about it. Yeah? Do you think that he's gonna grow up to be a great person, a confident person? Of course, I can't excel at school. I failed my education. So he's thinking that his life's gonna be blurred, no good future. He is filled with despair, with hopelessness. Clear? All these because he can't attend school properly, because of the poor quality of education he is receiving. And he knows that he can't go any further in his life without a good education. He is not armed with the right skills to get decent jobs and to have a good life, a decent life in the future. Good. Can you name some of international organizations that might lend Casigo and his classmates a helping hand? Now, we know that Casigo is in a dire situation and is a critical situation. Things are not that good. Lousy conditions, we said. He's living in appalling condition. They have no laboratories, no schools, library. But there are organizations, governmental and non-governmental ones, that might help. And can you suggest some? I know you know the answer. Somewhere in your mind, you've got the answer. Yeah? Okay. You can think of the UNICEF, which is an acronym for United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. It supports children's rights worldwide. And you know that one of the basic rights of kids, of children, is education. And UNICEF is there to fight for that right. Clear? So UNICEF can be of great help to CACIGO. The WFP, the acronym for World Food Program, and we dealt with this in the previous lesson. Good. And it provides school meals to students in different parts of the globe. And this takes me back to the picture we saw in the beginning of the lesson. The two boys are talking. I said, my goal now is how to find food on a daily basis. Good. And another organization, which is UNESCO, and the acronym for UNESCO is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. And the main aim of this organization is to work on the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals for all over the world. That means improving the quality of education, helping kids getting access to a good education, a good quality education again, and I insist on the word good quality education. How can ordinary people help prevent school dropout? Okay, so not only government should strive to find solution to the problem of education, of problems in school. How can we keep kids at school as long as we can until they acquire the necessary skills? Not only international organizations have to do that. People can do that. How is that? Good. So they can help by, while suggesting some answers, donating money, school supplies, etc. Giving donation on sponsoring children. They can organize and participate in fundraising campaigns. Campaigns aimed at collecting money for charity or for a cause. And the last one is volunteering with non-governmental organizations, and the acronym is NGOs. Nice acronym. I like it, mate. Sounds nice, in fact. Great. So people can help in different ways, and you and me, we can help. Everybody else can help in improving education. Yes, you and I mean. Yeah. Good. To finance their programs, the NGOs rely both on donations and the work of volunteers. They publish advertisements in order to encourage people and government to take action. So to know about these great actions, these humanitarian actions, we need advertisement. People, the public should know about them. And the best way to make people feel aware this is through advertisements. Let's study the main feature of a successful advertisement. You know, anyone can design an advertisement, can write an advertisement and design it. But the effect varies from one advertisement to another. So we need to focus on the main features of the good of a successful ad on people. In fact, we can say advertisement, we can say advert, and we can say ad. Yeah, that's an abbreviation. You need, for that, to pick out the similarities between the two following advertisements. You are going to see two advertisements, and you are going to try to detect the similarities, find out the similarities between ad 1 and ad 2, advert 1, advert 2, advertisement 1 and advertisement 2. Look, so here is the first, that's the second one. For you, it's $1. For them, it's a lifetime or lifelines. Second one, like us on Facebook and we'll vaccinate 0 children against polio. Yeah, so funny, isn't it? Yeah, great. So take time to see the similarities between the first and the second one. Yes, take all your time. Okay. I like the accusing look of that girl. Yeah. She's got eyes full of accusations. Yeah. Good. Let's see. I have a title here and I have a title there. That's one thing. So, and as I said, I like the titles. Why? Because they are catchy titles, sometimes shocking. Yeah. Now, if you read the title like us on Facebook and will like vaccinate 0 children against polio, you will act it first yourself and then you realize that you are doing nothing. You are so passive, just watching everyday things, show the kids suffering thing, and just put press like or just write comment. No, this won't help the problem. What we need is contributions, material contribution. Send us your money. Help us vaccinate those kids. But if you write just, if you just put like on Facebook, we won't be able to vaccinate anyone. Immunization won't go there. Okay? Likes don't pay for immunizations, for vaccinations, but money does. Second one, for you it's $1. For you $1 would buy you a chocolate bar, some chips only. But for other people, it's a lifeline. It guides them all along their lives. It saves them. Clear. So catchy titles are essential. Second thing, look at here. $1 for Syrian refugees. Here we have nothing against likes, but vaccine costs money. You see? So we call to action. Please give money. Please do something. Please give $1. All right? You need to take action. You have to donate, to volunteer, or to contact details. That's what we mean by action. You can act in different ways. You say, I said I liked the picture, and I said the eyes, the look of the girl, it makes me feel guilty myself. So, she is left by herself. No one is there to lend a hand. She seems lost. So it's so moving, so touching. The second thing we see, look at the boy there, the background of the picture. There's a boy, in fact, if you can see the picture, how he is looking at the girl getting the vaccination, the vaccine, getting the immunization. It's really touching. Okay, then you see a lifeline, and it only costs you €4, but will give this. I will save life. It will save the lives of 12 children. You know, €4 can save the lives of 12 children. That's great. Good. That's also calling for action. And that's the right choice of the words. Now we have an idea about what a good ad is. It's time for you to write in. Clear. To put this into practice. To reinvest what we've been telling you about. Good. You are a volunteer working with a Tunisian NGO. You are asked to design an advertisement to encourage your local community to donate to this NGO. The collected money will finance its program, which supports poor schoolgirls in rural areas by providing them with supplies and transport fares. Your poster must include the following: a catchy title. Now we are going to catch up what we've been saying. To sum up, the things we've been talking about. A catchy title, a 6-line paragraph detailing the mission and objective of the NGO, a call to action, and a relevant picture. Okay, we say you can draw it yourself. If you're good at drawing, you can do that. Okay, you know we are not a professional, but any picture can do, and a good one. I mean, one that fits. I mean, in what you're focusing on. Good. Now, it's time to write. So design a nice advertisement, taking into consideration our tips and our recommendations, and then give it back to your teacher. He's gonna give you enough feedback. He's gonna improve it and show you how successful you've managed to write it, how successful you've been in writing your ad. Great. So we sum up the whole thing and we wrap up. Now, by the end of this lesson, I think you can interpret a cartoon, or you can interpret pictures. You can express a possible condition and its result using unless. You can write an advertisement with a call to action. As for your new words, you have the word acronym, you have the word to call to action, we have donation, enrollment, fundraising, NGO, and roughly. Good. Thank you for having watched today's program. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope it has been beneficial, and hope meet another time with another lesson. Thank you.